this week's devastating flooding, which has left almost 400 people dead, according to the latest estimates, is the third major flood disaster in KwaZulu-Natal in the past 3 years. Initial assessments suggest that the damages are significant and run into hundreds of millions of rands. This means insurance companies are receiving staggering volumes of claims during this time. For more on this, we are joined by the spokesperson for Old Mutual Insurance, Lizo Mnguni. Lizo, good evening. Thanks for speaking to us. What are the level of claims that you are receiving, and is it synonymous with a natural disaster of this magnitude?
Good evening, Hugo. Pleasure to be here. Yes, we have seen a huge rise in the number of claims, of course, as you would expect with a huge disaster of this nature in the east of the country, and really representative or commensurate to the actual size of the disaster. So we've seen quite a high uptick in the number of claims that we received. And we're there to support our customers during this time. So, so we have seen quite a large number of claims being submitted during this time. Of course, the environment is quite fluid, so I can't give you a hard and fast number. The claims are coming in almost on a daily basis, as you would expect. And we expect that as policyholders and our customers get back to their homes, if they were evacuated, and make an initial assessment of the extent of the damage, more claims will come in. So we're expecting quite a few number of claims to come in over the coming days as people get back to their homes and actually just do that assessing.
Now, how are you dealing with this influx of claims? Because I can imagine that this is not standard.
Yeah, so we've beefed up our teams on the ground to assist our policyholders in assessing the extent of the damage and just making sure that customer service does not drop during these times. So we put a number of measures like that in, but also in supporting the communities that have been affected more generally. So we've partnered up with the Gift of the Givers to assess the damage and the needs of affected communities in KZN, and just really providing those basic necessities as well, such as blankets, clothes, and food where we can, over and above the insurance aspect.
Are you able to give us a split of business, home, and life claims and any other claims that have been coming through?
Not as yet. I think the situation is evolving quite quickly. We might be able to be in a better position to do that in the coming weeks, but we do expect a large number of property claims. So that's literally the building, the structure of people's homes being damaged or sometimes completely collapsing as a result of the floods. We also expect quite a large number of home contents claims for people that have lost or either incurred some sort of damage to their household contents, electronic equipment, TVs, fridges, and so on, as a result of the flooding as well. So it is evolving quite quickly, but we do expect claims in all of those categories that you mentioned.
I'd imagine that the more affluent you are, the more likely you are to be insured and subsequently claim. What do you find is the instance where most of those that are affected by the floods are the poor members of the KZN community? Generally, are they insured? Are you receiving a significant number of claims from that segment?
Yes, it's exactly as you say. Generally, the people that do have assets to protect will generally take out insurance. Some of the less fortunate members or poorer members of the community sometimes don't have that luxury, but we have seen quite a lot of innovation around microinsurance and making insurance a little bit more accessible to people that are slightly less fortunate. But on the whole, what we do find is that we do tend to insure the more affluent people in South Africa, so middle class and above, in terms of car insurance, home insurance, as well as buildings insurance. But as I say, we welcome the comments made by the Minister of Human Settlements to rebuild some of the houses that have collapsed and have been swept away in some instances of the less fortunate who may not necessarily have that insurance cover in place. So we appreciate that statement by Minister of Human Settlements.
Now, in a disaster such as this, how does one go about claiming when they've lost their ID? Because I can imagine that many people have lost their personal belongings.
Yes, so when you're claiming, most insurers will have quite a streamlined process in place from reporting the claim to actually getting it paid out or an assessment being made in some instances. But these are very specific circumstances at the moment. We are going above and beyond, and I think the entire industry, the entire insurance industry is doing the same, just to make sure that during these times we are not that hurdle when someone has lost or everything that belongs to them and potentially even loved ones. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible for our policyholders to get paid out, having gone through what they've gone through.
Lizo, when you juxtapose the unrest that occurred last July in KZN and what's happening with this natural disaster, where are you getting more claims, if you can't say at this point?
There was a large number of claims that was related to the July unrest last year, but most of those were going to SASRIA, which insures for all riots and civil unrest in the country. So SASRIA did pick up the bill on that, and not necessarily the insurers that most people would know by name. Most of the claims, and it's unfortunate that all of this is happening in KZN at the moment, so yeah, a large number of claims from the July unrest would have been picked up by SASRIA, and the claims that you're seeing now come in as a result of these floods are being picked up by insurers in South Africa, the likes of Old Mutual Insure, etc.
Now, insurance business flourishes when people pay premiums and don't make claims. Right now, you are facing a massive number of claims. What is the impact on the business?
Well, this is exactly what insurers are here for, right, Hugo? So we're here to, in people's uncertain times, to just be their certain friend, and also just to be there when they need us at the worst of times. So this is exactly why insurers exist, moments like this where we can give comfort to people that have been paying their premiums, have abided by their policy, the rules and regulations and their policies, and will be put at least hopefully in the position that they were in before this disastrous situation unfolded. So this is exactly why insurers exist. As you said, though, it has quite a significant effect on the profits that insurers will make. But I have no doubt that most of the insurers in the industry will be able to survive this. They're quite well capitalized. The Prudential Authority has made sure of that. And we've seen in the past, like 2008, when the global financial crisis wreaked havoc around the world, how resilient our financial services companies were. So this is another testament to that. So the insurance industry is quite well capitalized, and we should be able to pay out all valid claims.
Well, I suppose the big question is responsiveness. A lot of people are putting in claims. Just how quickly are you able to respond to them? And is this time period quicker than normal response time?
Yes, as I say, we've mobilized quite a lot of teams. We've beefed up quite a lot of teams on the ground, in fact, in KZN, just to help our customers assess the extent of the damage and also submit claims and make it a very speedy process. So that's what we've done, and we have seen other insurers doing the same, but it's definitely not the norm. But it is something that we all should aspire to as the industry, to get claims paid out as quickly as possible.
Now, do you expect that those without insurance during this time, based on this obviously devastating experience that they've all encountered in KZN, are likely to run to an insurer post this period to ensure that they are insured?
Yes, so we have seen quite a lot of that, and it's essentially opens us up to quite a lot of fraud, where people might want to take out a policy now and try claim for something that may have happened in the past. As you know, insurance is something where you pay for in advance, and we cover any claims that might happen in the future. So there have been some instances where people might be encouraged to take chances, especially when a catastrophe strikes, and take out insurance immediately and then claim for something that happened a year ago, 2 years ago with that insurer. That is unfortunately fraud, but we are here to support the customers who have been with us from before this catastrophe happened, have been paying their claims and have been paying their premiums, and have been abiding by all the rules and regulations of their policy. So we're sticking with those clients, and we're going to make sure that they're put in the position that they were in before this actually happened.
Lizo Mnguni is a spokesperson for Old Mutual Insurance. We thank you for your time this evening.